Alrighty, timer's running. No, actually it isn't. Now it's running. So today I have some more steps to go through for getting the rake field manual back on track. And made myself a to-do list here. And given how today's been going so far, I expect to get through about 0.5 of the first one on here, but we'll see. If we're very lucky, we might actually get into some rake scripting, but I kind of suspect that's not going to happen today. All right, so I've decided the first thing I want to do today is I want to install WordPress on the staging site that I've created. So I've already set up the hosting for it, but I want to set up WordPress on it. Now, I don't actually, technically I don't have to have my host set up WordPress, because I could totally just deploy WordPress to a blank site. But if I do it this way, then they'll provision a database for me, and yeah, see, they'll provision a database for me, and they'll do some other stuff. They'll set it up for automatically updating the version of Word. I do not want a glorious selection of free themes, standard plugins, and security enhancements. I just want to install it right to the root there, so let's do that. All right, now that's going to take a little bit of time, so now let's move over to some local stuff. Let's get a prompt here. I don't think this is running right now, so let's get this up. Let's see if I can do a vagrant resume. No. All right, so it looks like it's not in a good state to resume. So, is this the command? Of course not. That would make too much sense. There's up, which like starts it up and provisions it. Is there just like startup? On? I don't know. Ugh, I don't know. I know up works. Are we up yet? Nope. Okay, what am I doing next? I did that. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to look into what it's going to take to start automating the process. Last time I was working on this, I think it was the very first of these episodes, I went through the very manual steps of just copying, basically exporting a chapter and into HTML or Markdown, and then pasting it into the admin UI. And now I want to look into some baby steps towards automating that process in a repeatable way. All right, so in theory, the site should be up, but actually, I don't think I need to use it right just yet. What I want to do is I want to start exploring some commands for automated export. All right, so I've got a little notebook here. I'm going to use org mode to explore this if I can, and you'll see why as I continue forwards. Force of habit. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to start trying out some commands. The first command in the sequence is going to be how do we export a chapter from the source org mode format to either HTML or Markdown. I think I'm going to go with Markdown. All right, I had to pause for an interruption there. All right, what was I doing? Oh, interruptions. They're the worst. Let's see. Okay. Convert from, let's make this a little bit more concrete. What do we have? We have up a directory from here. We have a directory full of content. And in that directory full of content, we've got some chapters. Here's an example, automated process. We can go ahead and open that up. It's an org mode file. We can expand all these out. And this is how I write, but in order to get this into WordPress, I need HTML or I need Markdown. So, go back here. In order to convert these, I'm going to have to use Emacs in order to convert them in an automated way, I'm going to have to include Emacs in my automation. So, just as a reference, oh, you have got to be kidding me. I am in Emacs, but you can't find Emacs? What? What? Exec path. I don't know. It kind of looks to me like you do have Emacs in the path. Or maybe you don't. This is increasingly bizarre. Just set this for the current session because I feel like there's something not right about this. What? All right. I have been having trouble all morning with this, with making these blocks work. I really, really wanted to do it this way because this way I can actually keep a record of the commands that I execute. But I can't fight with this all day, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Oops. And we're just going to do it straight from here. So, oh my. Of course not. Why would things make sense? All right, so yeah, I'm an advocate for using Windows more because A, it's what a ton of people use, and B, it's not as, these days, it's not as horrendously horrible as a lot of developers are used to thinking. But there are still some things that are really excruciating about it, and one of them is the fact that is the way it handles paths, and the fact that by default, practically nothing is included in the exec path. Just a teensy bit infuriating. All right. So just make sure I have the right spot. C, program files, GNU, Emacs, bin. Yeah. All right. Just to make darn sure, we're going to just kill this completely. And then we're going to open back up in here. And all right, something's working anyway. That's not really what I wanted. I don't want a GUI session. I really just want to see some help. What the heck? Stop loading! Don't need another instance open. All right. No! Oh, alright. I guess dash and H doesn't work in Emacs. I feel like I'm so far down a rabbit hole already. But no, this is what I needed to see. Okay, so I'm just going to swipe all this. I know, there is a... I could also be looking in the info manual for this, but this is a nice summary. Alright. So one of the things I'm going to need is batch. That implies dash Q. Yeah, which implies quiet. Okay. Probably also going to want to use quick mode. Yeah, no site file, no site list, no splash. So dash batch dash quick. And then probably going to want to load something up and then execute a thing. So it's going to be something like, oops, something like this. Emacs dash batch dash quick. Up a level. Content. Automated process. Okay, so that did nothing because I told Emacs to load a file, but it was in batch mode. So it just loaded a file and then died. That's fine. That's exactly what I want. Now I need to execute. Let's see. Evaluate Emacs expression. Execute. Eval. Seems like they're the same thing. Eval. Alright, let's just make sure this works first. Hi there. End of file during parsing. End of file during parsing. When did I screw up? Okay. So we know how to do this. Actually, one of the first things I need to do is I need to tell it to load a particular library. It's the GitHub flavored markdown export library for org mode. So let's see, is there a particular? Yeah, there is a load Emacs list file using the load function. So load oxgfm. Okay, that's one thing I was afraid of. So I'm using batch and quick. Actually, let's add this before the file. Load oxgfm. I'm using batch and quick, and the quick mode means that it loads almost no configuration whatsoever, including it's probably not loading up any of the local package configuration for the packages that I've downloaded. And this is something I kind of anticipated, and I want to make sure that I have a good way around this. So one thing I don't want to depend on, I want to depend in my automation. I'm okay with depending on the fact that Emacs is on the system. Just saying, look, if Emacs isn't here, we can't do anything. I don't want to depend on the fact that a certain library is available. There are a couple of ways I can think of doing this. If I could like just check this library into a Git repo that's part of this whole deployment. I'd rather have it be that it grabs the package if need be. All right, so this might require a little bit of a side jaunt, because I need to figure out how do I set up. Okay, I need to tell Emacs. I need to use a local Emacs config directory for this, and it can just be like a cached one. This is not necessarily something I'm going to commit, but I need a local place to hold config and downloaded libraries that are dependencies of this process. So that's fine. Let's see, where am I at right? Oops. Where am I at right now? Just trying to decide where I want to put this stuff. Let's see. Okay, I think there might be a command line option for where Emacs should put its stuff. Init file, site file, bunch of display options. to nope. Whoops. Go back there. Init file. Emacs looks for your init file using blah 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 blah. Find init. Oh, are you kidding me? All right. That session's already over. Well, I guess I'll pick this up in the next edition.